Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Path of Progress event that has come back pretty much a year after it was initially introduced. This brings with it the Scarlet Thunder again, as well as some camos and the Jupiter 42. This ship is not particularly good, but I want to talk about this event first because it's a very nice contrast to yesterday's video where we looked at the Rochester and the 9th anniversary event, where I thought it was really nice that Wargaming was updating that event to be a little more player friendly when it came to earning base XP and grinding out your anniversary rewards. It was really nice and had some flexible rewards, especially if you already had the Rochester. This event is the exact opposite. It's heavily monetized, and it's incorporating some very nice psychological tricks, which, let's be honest, we expect that from free-to-play games, but it'd be nice if Wargaming were to move past that. I think, as a whole, the industry would be much better off if we didn't have to try and trick people into spending more money. Speaking of, it'd be really nice, again, to get some of those dockyard ships back, not in a FOMO way, but just plainly available, and you buy into whatever dockyard you'd like. I'm going to continue to mention that quite a bit from now on, as I think that'd be a great change for everyone. But what are we talking about here? Well, the Scarlet Thunder here itself is available only as an Admiral pack, so that's going to be 34,000 doubloons, which is going to be a tier 10 doubloon price when those get released, and you're really not getting much more for it. I guess a camo here. Maybe the commander. There's some extras of port slot and signals, but that's just extras that they throw in there to jack up the price, in my opinion. You can also access this ship if you want to gamble. Not a huge fan of that. As well as maybe the worst possible part of this event, the most blatant ripoff, I guess you would say. Maybe I'm wording this too strongly here, but it feels so slimy just in the way it's activated. How are you going to get access to the Delny or Preussen special camos here? They look pretty cool. Well, you're going to have to pay 160 tokens with this event, always with extra tokens, trying to convert multiple steps away from your actual cash or currency you put in, so that you're not as aware of how much you're spending. Very nice trick there psychologically. But how many tokens can you get at one time, do you think? Is it perfectly enough to add up to 160? Well, no, of course not. It's going to be 50 tokens at a time. So you're going to buy 3 token packs, and you're going to be 10 short. I hate these events, if you couldn't tell, so I had to talk about them. I hope you're noticing the dispersion in the background here. Very, very lovely dispersion on the Scarlet Thunder here. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these events at all, and I have to call them out because I want to call out Wargaming for doing good things. And the flip side of that is we have to be consistent and call out the bad. And this is a bad event. Not only is the Scarlet Thunder a bad ship, but it's very expensive. The rest of it is way too heavily monetized, incorporating what I like to think of as tricks to get you to spend more money. It feels really, really bad. So do not engage with this event at all, honestly. Go engage with anything else in the game right now. Certainly the anniversary event. And if you're looking to spend money on this game for premium ships or anything like that, wait for Black Friday. That's always when we get the sales. Tier 9 premium ships are often on sale for 16,000 doubloons or so. Half this one. And this ship isn't even a good tier 9. You could get a rare tier 9 perhaps. Jean Bart B comes back, Alaska B. At tier 8 you get the Massachusetts B. Like, there's some very interesting, fun, powerful ships available for a nice discount on Black Friday. Definitely wait for that over this ship. But to talk about it a little more, maybe you haven't seen this ship. Certainly not a very popular one since it isn't particularly good. We do have 32 millimeters of armor everywhere, so this Musashi is just going to rip right through us when he gets after us. This ship is a mix of a Duncan and a Lion at tier 9, and I think incorporates some of the not so great elements of both. First of all, our turret angles are okay, 31 forward, 30 degrees backwards. That's really not the issue here, but we do have the worst detection out of all of them, unfortunately. Our HP pool is similar, our speed is similar, We have a 9-point-second rudder shift though, which is pretty nice. You're going to notice that here that it feels relatively nimble. Unfortunately, we only repair 50% of pen damage, where all of these other ones, Duncan, Lion, even Marlboro, are at 60% or even 75% of pen damage with the Lion. Citadel repair is only 10%, much like the rest of them, but this one has one of the worst armored citadels in the entire game. I'll of course show you all the armor towards the end of this video, but just know you're going to take a lot of citadel damage with this thing, and you're not going to be able to heal much of it back. As for the main guns here, we do have 419mm guns, and they're more like Lion than Duncan guns, I would say. We got okay range on them, and that's relatively comfortable, but a 30-second reload puts us slightly behind things like Lion and Duncan, but only by a second or half a second, respectively. Normal battleship dispersion, though. No battle cruiser dispersion like the Duncan has. 1.9 Sigma versus 1.85 Sigma on Lion, so slightly better consistency there, but not by a whole lot. The real problem here comes in with the shell types. This ship does not get very good shells. Certainly with the armor piercing, our damage is 11,500 alpha damage, where Duncan gets 13,050, Lion gets exactly 13,000. So a pretty massive alpha damage nerf here. It's the same pen, same overmatch, same ricochet angles, and same fuse time, which is short fuses, so decent against cruisers. You're not going to get as many overpens, but I really don't recommend using the AP all that much, thanks to that really, really low alpha damage. It feels kind of weak when you're firing this AP. And let's be honest, it's not like Lion is well known for having good AP. You're really spamming HE out of those ships, to be honest with you. There are still opportunities to shoot the AP, of course. It's not like you should only be spamming high explosive. Into cruisers, you get some overmatch, or when they're broadside, that short fuse will help you to get more consistent citadels, if you hit the citadel, that is. But this HE is much like Lion HE, and it really hasn't received any nerfs, so the alpha damage is the same as Lion at 7,200 alpha damage on the HE. Very, very strong, as well as having really, really nice pen, 105mm pen. So even into battleships, you're often going to be full penning them, which is really, really good. 48% fire chance gives you fairly good fires per minute. Not amazing, because still you're a battleship, and 30-second reload, but overall, compared to a lot of other battleships, yeah, the fire chance is very good here. So you can farm decent damage with this HE. AP, though, is still an ammo type worth using. You don't retain the torpedoes of Duncan, though, unfortunately. And that's a little bit disappointing, I gotta say. Certainly with this camo, you'd almost expect some torps, given how kind of funny this thing looks. And how maybe those wiggle torps would make more sense with such a abstract camo like this. 13,448 alpha damage there with a double fire. Yep, that is indeed that British battleship HE. Our AA is surprisingly quite a bit better than the Duncan or the Lion. I don't think it's going to be very good against carriers, but it is an improvement over Duncan and Lion, and you do actually get a defensive fire here as well. So maybe you're going to be less of a priority target to go after for the carriers. I'm not sure, though, if that's actually going to help you out all that much. And again, you don't have a super heal. That's pretty painful. Not only can you not heal very much Citadel damage at all, you're healing less pen damage, actually, as well. But you don't have a super heal, which is a really big pain point here. Duncan and Lion have terrible armor. They don't have great HP either. Like, it's fine, I guess, but they die rather quickly without their super heal. And Scarlet Thunder is the same thing, just without a super heal. It's a standard heal. No faster reload time here either, so you're looking at an 80-second cooldown with just the standard 14% heal. Painful. Painful to say the least. No engine boost here either. Much like a Duncan has engine boost, this one does not. And no spotter plane like a Lion might have. Now, we get pretty fortunate that Schlieffen didn't just end us here, given how broadside we are. And cheeky little fire there in at the end on the Scarlet Thunder. Decent damage into our counterpart. And this is actually an opportunity to maybe question everything we know about this aiming system. This Schlieffen is about to go dark, and I'm locked onto him. But the lock-on goes away. We're aiming at the island. You can see that on the mini-map there. That's what I was locked onto, or I wasn't locked onto the ship. Yet, the shells go over. I have no idea how that happened. So, feels good, man. Get to question everything I thought I knew about the aiming system, where the X or the dot on the minimap was really all that mattered. It took into account the aim assist, which I hate, but at least it takes into account the aim assist, where it pulls your shells away from where you're actually aiming with your reticle. It also takes into account lock-on and shoots over islands. But this time it didn't do that, so I have no idea what's going on. The longer I've played, the less I feel like I understand. We'll see. Maybe there's a good explanation for it. Or perhaps we just chalk it up to an aim bug. We certainly have enough of those in this game. But this alpha damage into the broadside Schlieffen feels a little bit bad, I gotta say. He's pretty low HP here. Our dispersion is okay, and he's certainly not angling particularly well. We don't do very much damage, right? It just doesn't feel like tier 9 damage with this armor piercing. The HE does at times, certainly. And here's our Citadel getting hit a couple times by that Schlieffen. Yeah, it's pretty weak, especially in the rear. If you ever see these, definitely shoot towards the rear of the ship. It's actually quite a bit weaker Citadel armor towards the back compared to the front. We'll try and take out this Schlieffen here towards the end, and yeah, we gotta watch out for Wisconsin cross shots. That's a pretty scary ship to deal with, and we'll angle to him, maybe get some HE towards him. Again, I'm swapping back to that high explosive. I asked my chat while I was playing this, what ammo type should I be using more of, and they all just spammed HE, so a little more HE in this game. And it probably is better to just shoot HE, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's not like this armor piercing has all that high alpha damage. I talk about that a lot when it comes to debating whether you should shoot AP or HE, and that's even with ships with respectable AP alpha. This ship does not have that, and it has really, really high HE alpha. Nice little triangle dispersion there against that Wisconsin. Now here, maybe I didn't aim quite high enough, but I'm not aiming waterline here, okay? We're locked on. I'm going to do the lock-on trick, right, where you unlock and lock again. S-Thunder here turning broadside to us, angling to the Riga and Schlieffen. I aim above his waterline because I know he's slightly moving away, and our shells all go short. Speaking of aim bugs, I would say that probably was one. Although, you know, if we're going to do the whole hindsight bias thing, look at what happened and just say, oh yeah, retroactively I just should have shot higher up in the air. I don't think that's necessarily correct, because what happens when the shells go high? Oh, you should have shot lower, right? You can't look at the result and then go retroactively say, oh, this is what you should have obviously done differently, because this game, again, is not consistent with its aim. But that's not about this ship, nor about this event. That's just a small gripe of mine when it comes to playing battleships, and this lovely aiming system we have. But let's get back to this ship and this event, because there's some positive here. The ship isn't particularly good, so you don't have to engage with this event. Yeah, armor-wise, like I said, it's pretty bad. You ready for this? This is your Citadel. Way above water. And then at the back here, it's only 305, where it's 356 here towards the front. So hit back here, it's even easier to land Citadels on this thing. Only 32 mil bow and stern, so if you got overmatch, you're just punching right through this. It is very vulnerable. No super heal, no special Citadel healing here at all. No extra pen healing either. It's pretty rough. That AP alpha as well, not the best. I was actually using heavy AP in these games because I really, really wanted to at least try the AP a bit more, but it still didn't work out all that well. And the build looked a little something like this, where we are swapping between shells, so I want that. Our turrets are actually pretty slow. It's like 41 or something seconds without using the turret traverse upgrade, grease the gears, so really wanted that. Brisk could be useful, I guess. We do have decent conceal, and that maneuverability is kind of nice. Not bad speed either. No engine boost, but not bad speed. But I really wanted the turret traverse because, I mean, it's very, very painful to have a slow turret traverse on a ship that doesn't have the best armor, that needs to be reacting to what is presented to it rather quickly, and not just tanking salvos while you wait for these turrets to turn around. Equipment-wise, you definitely want to go with a reload build. Again, I don't think you want to be tanking too much, so propulsion mod to be a little more maneuverable, and maybe to help you stay a little farther away from the battle could be a good idea on this ship. And as for the event, here it is in the armory. You can roll some loot boxes to see if you can get the Scarlet Thunder. Maybe if it's the first one, it's worth getting for 1,500 doubloons, sure. Even though I still wouldn't want to play the ship personally. But hey, it's a tier 9 premium still at that case. But it's really, really expensive if you just buy it outright. Very, very expensive, especially given that we have Black Friday coming up for some of these tier 9s. And of course, having this camo be 160 tokens, and you can only buy the tokens in bundles of 50. I mean, come on. Come on. That's a little too slimy, don't you think? Don't you think? It's already converting multiple different currencies. Like, we have so many different currencies and tokens, man. Like, do we need to do this yet too? Oh well. That's my critique. That's what I don't like about this event. But I'm positive about other events. I try to keep a good balance. So let me know how I'm doing on that. But I actually really think that anniversary event went pretty well. Certainly some of the changes they made were nice. Player-focused changes that weren't as heavily monetized. And maybe this is the trade-off where we get this event afterwards. I don't know. But at least there is some positive in the game right now. Definitely interact with that anniversary event over this one, in my opinion. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.